Hey guys, welcome back to Custom Hearthstone Concepts. Today we're going to be looking at an obvious choice for many card makers, secrets. As only a handful of the classes have them, it's pretty easy to think about what other classes could get. Tackling this question, I tried messing with Druid and came up with some fun cards. I went with the idea that, similarly to Paladin, these would be small, tactic-based cards for 1 mana, and honestly, I'm pretty happy with the results. Additionally, I made several of these as hard-to-activate, high-reward cards, which I feel works really well. Ready? To kick things off, we have a fairly unique card. Change of Seasons has 2 different potential bonuses. This makes it a little weaker since you don't know what you're getting, but either result is still pretty good. So first, if your opponent casts a spell, you simply draw an additional card. On the other hand, if they play a minion, you gain an empty mana crystal. Again, this plays a lot different from other secrets, as your opponent is more picking which result is easier to deal with rather than playing around it full time. Still, I think this could be an interesting card, and I think the unpredictable nature keeps it from being busted. Next, we have a deck-specific card with Life Cycle. I don't have a ton to say about this card. It simply shuffles a friendly beast back into your deck when it dies, so kind of like a more specific, slower getaway Kodo. I would definitely love to see this card in a Malorn deck, maybe with N'Zoth to just kinda fill your deck with powerful 7-mana beasties. But all in all, I think it's a simple card, but I still think there is some room to have fun with it. Our last 2 cards, and I do certainly apologize for the shorter video, are a little more over the top, so keep in mind I'm definitely not sure about the balancing at all, but my idea was 1-mana cards that would bloom fully much later on in the game, if at all, and then allow for an extra factor that could swing the game, or if you like, 1-mana seeds that grow into a fully realized power. First, we have Awaken the Woods, which allows you to summon 2 2/2 treants after your opponent draws a total of 3 cards in 1 turn. Keep in mind this includes their initial draw, so even just Arcane Intellect might trigger this, however other decks might never trigger a card like this at all. Now, all of that being said, I still think the potential for this to do nothing keeps it from being competitive, but perhaps it could be an interesting tech card against some meta decks. And finally, we have Scavenge for Power, which, if your opponent leaves 5 mana unspent and passes their turn, gives you 3 Innervates. I think this spell is interesting, to say the least. Obviously, if it hits the game board early, it will not trigger for a very long time, and if your opponent passes with full mana on turn 5, you might already be winning the game for other reasons. And while those Innervates are still usable at 10 mana, it might take some extra planning to decide how. Overall, though, I am happy with the aesthetic of stealing unused mana crystals, and 1 mana for 3 extra mailed to you in the next 7 to 14 business days seems interesting enough. Again though, while powerful, I don't think this card would be hugely competitive, as it might never trigger. And that's all we've got for now. Again, I'm sorry, I know this video is a little bit shorter. Next week's video might be somewhat low effort as well. I'm a little busy with some travel stuffs right now, but I do have some big plans after that, so please stay tuned. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to check the playlist in the eye icon to make sure you've seen all the custom Hearthstone vids. And again, hope you enjoyed. Toodles. Alright, I'm just gonna record this bit. I don't know if this is gonna go in the video, but I just wanna come out and say a little bit as to what's going on. I just got back from 1 week out of town and watching little kids, and now I'm going to leave on a trip for 10 days, where I'm expected to be painting and working the entire time in much hotter weather. So that's why there's not a lot of stuff happening right now. But again, I do want to stress I have a lot of big plans coming up. I have a really cool Overwatch video that I'm working on. I have some more custom Hearthstone ideas that I want to flesh out more before I make into a video. Definitely a Hearthstone Diop.io gameplay, and I actually have an honest Hearthstone cards video in the works, which I'm pretty happy with. There's some kinks to work out there, definitely more cards to make, but I think you guys will love it. So, thank you so much for being patient with me, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this one. As always, have a great day, everyone. Toodles.